Hey guys, it's AJ here, giving you an update on the tank as well as a new piece of equipment we're going to be updating on the 75-gallon reef. As you'll see, there's corals in the tank now, which means I got to start monitoring my calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium a little bit more, as well as, since I'm running the Brightwell Zeolite system, there's certain elements of that system that I will be dosing as well. Also, you'll notice I got the copper band and the fox face in there now. Those are some members that I wanted to get in early on the tank. They just completed their quarantine. They've been in about 3 days now. Copper band mostly because if there is, for whatever reason, that Pager gets in there, I'm hoping he can help eradicate it. But also I like them and I know they're very timid fish. So I like to get him early on so that way he can establish himself before I get like my powder blue. The fox face is in there purely as a cleanup crew member and add some color to the tank. He helps eat the algae as well as I'm told they'll even eat bubble algae, but I'm not too sure. Went ahead and added about 10 hermit crabs as well as 2 emerald crabs in addition to the snails and the conch that I put in there before. Other than that, I'm just kind of letting the system stabilize a bit, doing my testing as far as my elements. As you'll see, I do have algae starting to grow in the sand bed and on the rock. That's fine, it's a new tank, it'll go away as long as I keep up with my routine maintenance and the system establishes itself. I'm not too worried about that. Everyone will have to deal with that at some point in time. I didn't even bother cleaning the glass. There's a bunch of copepods and stuff. I wanted you guys to see real time what the tank actually looks like without it being staged, so to speak. But I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. I definitely like the addition of the T5s as far as how it makes the corals just pop a little bit more. I still have my radions going through a 3-week acclimation period, especially since I added the battle corals. Some of them kind of faded out a bit and they're slowly getting their color back. But let's go ahead and talk about the new piece of equipment that we will be working with today. As you guys know, I have a J-Bow pump, a DP4 on this tank. Bought it a few years ago because it was affordable. Really didn't know a whole lot about it. However, one of the heads just completely stopped working, and I do need to use at least 4 heads for how I plan on automating this system. And so with that being said, I went ahead and looked at a new dosing system. With that, I will be going with the Aqua reefdoser Evo 4. I know from the picture, which I haven't unboxed this yet, the main unit looks a lot like the J-Bow one. I'm hoping it's a little bit better quality or a lot better quality. But I do like that the controller is attached to the cable and not on top. So that means I can mount it in the door, no longer trying to fit myself in there to calibrate it or make adjustments or read the little tiny blue screen. The other nice thing I like about this is it does have another 4 pump expansion that you can get in case you need to dose other elements or like zooplanktons or things of that nature, which I might be doing down the road. Well, anyhow, so that's a quick update on the tank. Let's go ahead and unbox this and get it installed on the tank. Okay guys, here we are in front of the Evo doser. Let's just go ahead and unbox this and see how everything looks. I know Aqua has a pretty good reputation, but I know a lot of their stuff is designed in Germany but manufactured in China. So yeah, let's see. So here's the main dosing unit. It's a lot smaller than the DP4, but overall the heads look to be the same. It's even got the same indicator lights, which I'll show you guys right here. See, there's the Aqua and then here's the J-Bow. So very similar as far as that goes, which but I will say the overall weight to the Aqua it's substantially heavier than the DP4. So that leads me to believe that maybe the components inside here are much better quality. Also, it is a fraction of the size. It's probably about half the size, maybe a little more than half the size of the DP4, which is nice as well. I'm assuming because it doesn't need the screen. Looks like the back is the same as well. It just takes a power cord as well as the expansion for the other pumps that you can get. And it looks like, I'm assuming this is the controller. I don't know, I haven't looked at it yet. Let's see here. And then See, this is the big reason I can mount this on my door. This is the screen to program it. No more having to shove my head inside my stand to try and access the screen that's on the top. That's kind of a pain in the ass. This one I can mount right on the door, and it's got a nice long cable to attach, and so when I open and close it, it'll allow me to do that. The power supply, it's bigger, whatever the adapter is. It's a lot bigger than the one that's on the DP4, and then it comes with a bunch of adapters for depending on wherever you are in the world. That's kind of nice. Comes with a bunch of dosing tube, and then the instructions. So let's go ahead and get this thing set up on the tank. Alright guys, here we are in front of the tank. As you see, we've got the doser mounted as well as the controller on the door. So we're going to go ahead and program and calibrate it real quick. I'm just going to show you guys how to calibrate one of the heads, and then I'll do the rest off camera so we can get this, so this video is not too terribly long. But anyhow, so to initially set up, it's very similar to the Jabo if you're familiar with that. It says set date and time by pressing enter, set new date, set new time. Let's see here. Set date and time. There we go. So I got in there. It does year, month, and day. Today is the 10th of March, and it is about 1:48 p.m. And I can already tell you this controller is much better than the Jabo one as far as how the buttons feel. So we got that set. Now go back. So date and time. Then we'll press enter. You can program, but before that, let's go ahead and calibrate. So you go to push up, go to correct pumps. I've got my water right here with a tube, and then I've got my measuring device right there. First, I need to prime the pump, so we'll go back, and then manual, and then you just press and hold enter. Let's see. Okay, so I had to reset the first pump. The head wasn't on all the way, but anyhow, so you go to manual mode and you press and hold enter to prime the line. And I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I can already tell you that's much quieter than the Jabo pump, so that's a good sign. And then, alright, so the line is fully primed. Okay, so then we'll back out of that. You push the up button to go to correct pumps. Pump 1, 100 milliliters equals 223. I'm not sure what the 223 means. I don't know if that means 223 revolutions or 200, or however the pump is designed to calculate that. But anyhow, what we'll do is we'll push the up arrow and we'll measure out 100 milliliters using this measuring cup here. And this is just one of my dosing cups. And then when it gets to 100, you push the up arrow again to stop it, and that should be calibrated. Here. Right now we're about 20 milliliters. The other thing is always make sure you have enough water in your little testing cup. And I'm just using RODI water. I'll end up flushing it and priming the lines for the other elements I plan on dosing. Hey. And you guys just saw my wife in her panties.
You can edit that out.
I can't edit that out. Because I don't know how. So as you see, it takes a little while. We're at 126 now, and before it was 223. It should be calibrated from the factory, so we'll see how close it gets. We're almost to 70 milliliters in the testing solution. Oh. Almost to 100. Let's see. 90, almost 90. At 90. Almost to 100. And now. So 221. So I mean that's pretty close. Let me just make sure it's level, because my timing might be a little off. That's pretty close. So 221 is what I got it to. So we'll just go ahead and press enter, and that'll save it. Now, what I like to do to test it is I'll pour that back in there. Alright, so the time is now 1:53, so I'll go in, I'll program pump 1 time. We'll do 20 milliliters, and the dosing time 1:54. I'm gonna try and it's a race for the clock. Oh, nope. So if you hold it, it goes a little bit faster. Alright, so that's set to dose 20 milliliters, and it started now, and we'll just see if our calibration was there, and if so, then I'll go ahead and I'll repeat these steps for the other pumps. And then one thing I just now realized, I'm pretty sure it does the time in military time. So right now I believe the timer thinks it's 1:54 in the morning. There wasn't an AM or PM, so I'm pretty sure it does it in military time. So let's see here, let's see where we're at. It's a little more than 20 milliliters, but I might not have gotten all the water out. It's maybe 21, 22 milliliters tops, so it's pretty close. But let's go ahead and show you guys the fish, and then we'll call it a day. Alright guys, so this is going to wrap up today's video. I'm going to go ahead and just feed the fish a little bit so you guys can see how they interact with the food. The copperben and the foxface, they did very well in quarantine, no problems, and the copperben is eating mysis as well as LRS reef frenzy. I'm going to go and put the pumps in feed mode and put the skimmer in standby. And we'll go ahead and feed these guys. It's about half a cube of PE mysis, and as you see they go right towards it, which that when I saw that in quarantine I was very, very happy of the results. The clownfish will come and get some here in a second too. Put a little bit more. Now, I probably am feeding a little heavy right now. Part of that is also for the cleanup crew, but now that algae is starting to appear, I think I'll cut back on the feeding a bit. But anyhow, I hope you guys liked this video. Comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys, and I'm happy with the way this tank is going and progressing. I'll get you guys another update here soon. Have a good one.